Hello everyone. So, regarding making the buttons from the toilet paper rolls, here I already have a flattened toilet paper roll. I have glued some magazine pages on it. I mean, you can glue, you don't have to glue anything on it, you can just keep it plain. You can stamp on it, do whatever you wish. And then what I did was to paint on them, add the color. So you can do one side only if you're planning to use your buttons one side only. If you are planning to use your buttons as double-sided for whatever projects, then you need to paint both sides, of course. So I mean, depends how many buttons, what size do you want. Of course, that's how much area you want to cover. Personally, I don't have any special projects right now that I would need buttons for, and I have already some pre-made, so I will just paint some random colors. I should be waiting till it dries, right? But I don't want to for the video's sake, and my heat gun is not by hand. So let's go immediately on the other side. So what I want, if I'm using double-sided, if I'm going for double-sided, so one side is one color, the other side is other color. I mean, not sure what project I will use it for yet, but I can have it ready for anything. So what I'm trying to combine are different colors, both sides. Now it's nearly dry. I prefer when it's not completely dry from the inside, from the outside. So, because I have arthritis in my hand, and it's difficult when it's completely dry to actually cut the buttons. So, when it's still wet inside, it's much easier to cut. Anyway, so I use random objects. This is just a cup from the sprays. So if you want to have circle buttons, I mean, it's up to you. Just find some stuff around the house that will be your button, smaller, bigger. So here we go. So here we have a smaller ones. Then I was thinking to have a bigger one. Here we go. Okay, so I have now circles, but who says that the circles must be the only form? What I did before, I cannot find them, but I have cut out of cardboard different kind of forms, like triangles, squares, rectangles, whatever, but I cannot find it, so I am just going freehand and draw something freehand, because who says they need to be perfect? So I am going to make maybe a heart. Here we go. Just adding the dots in the center so I know where I approximately want them. And now the cutting part. Regarding punching holes, I am lucky to have this kind of a puncher that has a quite nice hole, but the hole is too big for those small buttons. I am still using it, but I am not a big fan into these small ones punch such a big hole. So you can use the owl or needle or a nail or something pointy to make a hole through. The thing with this, I have here pre-drawn where I want to have the holes, but I am not always so perfect with it, so sometimes my holes are left, right, up, down, whatever, not in the place where I completely want them to be. But so this is the size of the hole. So for these big buttons, this is kind of perfect. And what is good about this thing, that you have nice holes, yeah, both sides. So that's very cool and clear, and you can use it both sides without any issues. This is a smaller button, and I will show you. So this could be still acceptable on this size, But on these very small ones, those holes are a little bit too big. So I will do this just on those bigger buttons to use these. And for the small ones, if you use something to punch the hole through, what happens is, like, this side is okay, but on this side, you probably see just this comes out, yeah, the paper. So the paper is coming out, and if I want to use this button double side, this is not pretty. I don't like that there. So I tried to file it off, which, okay, could be to, because if you just want to try to punch it through the other side here, you will just push it back and you have that effect on both sides. You see, you just push that paper to the other side. So you can file it off, but then you are filing off also some of the paint. Here we go. I'm already here at the edge. So you can file it off. It's not very pretty, the hole. It's lots of playing around to make it nicer, and if I don't want to have those holes so obvious, I mean, not that, I mean, oh, come on, I'm trying to say something here. I will have to repaint because I scratched off the paint. That's what I'm trying to say. So this will need repainting. So it's not really pretty. And I'm wasting the material here, getting it off. So not a big fan, but yeah. So the other thing, if you get the, I make another one here. I didn't even make them straight, but it's okay. So here, as it comes out, I am with these fancy scissors trying to chop the excess off. So that's a little bit more acceptable, though I will need to do some repainting here, of course, if I don't want to have the paper visible like that. Here it's not, here it is. So if I want to use it double-sided, I would have to repaint this, and I am mostly, it's still a little bit there, but I'm mostly rid of that excess. So also, if you are using it only one-sided and you punch the holes through, you need to think about this excess because it has, okay, it has a dimension, you see, so it will stand up. If that's what you want, that it is standing up a little bit as a button, fine, let's go for it. If you want to have it flat on the surface, then you will need to get rid of it also. So also then you are gluing it only on these 2 points if it's floating in the air, or you just use those foams for 3D there, I don't know. So those are some other tricks and issues that I had, or that I was facing if I wanted to have smaller holes in those smaller buttons, what I've been going through. So I'm done with punching holes, and what I did like here, have a look closer. I used these leftovers, the offcuts, and I just cut few lines and glued it on. And here was one of the hearts that I actually glued on and punched through. Now the outlines. The outlines I was making black. Here I tested one of the camera. You can use yellow, whatever colors you wish. I was doing it with black permanent marker on the previous ones because for me it's easier than to do it with black acrylic paint. I was getting my brush a little bit off the edges and it was creating smudges and not really nice lines. So I was using the marker. It seemed much easier and I had more control over what I'm doing. I mean, you can always leave it as it is. The edges, I mean, they may not be that obvious that it's a cardboard, you know, or if you don't mind that. So you can either make it black as I did here, just the edges. You can always use distress ink and distress the buttons. I went a little bit also here to create like an outline, so it's not only the edge here that is black, but it's also the creating a little bit of the line to give the button a frame, kind of in this way. And I did it also with the holes, so just to give holes a little bit of a frame. So there we go, like this. So that's what I was doing on the previous ones. Let me show you. Here is a box of my handmade beads and buttons. So let me dig through here. I have here many buttons already. So here are one of those original ones. There's very first ones that I have been making. Here is a plain one with a little bit of black aside, also a little bit with acrylic paint, but I had no control over it, so it's not such a nice line. Here, thicker or thinner line as you wish to make. So those are some of the original ones, the buttons. Then the second ones that I was making, I made few. Sorry that I didn't prepare this ahead. So I made few with the golden acrylic paint. So it's a golden outline. Yeah. And then I used a wallpaper, actually, that I glued a wallpaper, old wallpaper, on the toilet roll. So, and here are some of those from the, so that's the beige color of the wallpaper, and this is a nail polish and black outline, but I had difficulties to make that outline and I was kind of smudging it, unfortunately, all around. So what I did with those mistakes, I just painted them completely black, those buttons, so they are completely black. And with the golden acrylic paint, I just went like a it's called a dry brushing technique. I just brushed a little bit over the top to get the surface, the increased surface, to give it a little bit of this form. So that was the other thing that I did. So for these, sorry, I hit the camera with my foot. I will do whatever. I still don't know. I'm going to play around with it to, I have here a black marker. I have here red marker. So maybe I will just make red more red. So it's less obvious, this bright paper edge. That's it. So maybe I will just do that. Or using acrylics. For the acrylics, I need to take the glasses to see better the edges. Okay, so I have finished painting the edges. I did few white. So I did few white ones, some red ones, here red ones, and green and yellow and black. So different colors. Okay, so what I did on the others, I either I mostly used actually nail polishes. I have here this big box, and that's only one box. I still have two more. So excuse me. So what I did was to use nail polishes actually to cover them with some extra glitter and whatever other dots that you have seen. And that actually I kind of also use as the final varnish or something, you know. So I kind of wanted them to look a little bit fancier with that glitter, but I will do only few now because I don't want to add too much glitter on these. Here we go. I will add blue one on blue. You see the shimmer? So, and that was on the picture where people were asking how I got them so thick. They are not thick. It's just the, it's probably just the, how to say, the nail polish, how it reflects on in the light or something, that maybe that nail polish gave it kind of like a look that it's thick, but they are not. So even if I'm adding like a really thick layer here, it dries, it's not really thick. It's just how it reflects in light, that it gives it that look. So quickly, here are some dots. The other products that I was using is this 3D effect, crackle accent, glossy accent, and just normal acrylic varnish. So on the previous ones, I just used all these randomly, whatever I just felt like. So I'm going to use these. I'm going to let it dry and show you the result. Here we have the final dried results. I just want to finish this crackling effect on these two. You can see it dried nice, so it created lots of cracks, but you cannot see them. I will add, I have here patina. Here we go. That's the big button, and here we have the little grungy heart. I really like this heart. I might be making more of these, I think. Here. So that's with the crackle effect. So here in this corner, those are the ones with nail polish. These are with I don't want to lose them, but I want to get more light on it. These are with 3D effect liquid and glossy effect or something like that it's called. And these are just the usual ones for with just a usual varnish. So that's and here are those two ones with crackle. Here we go. So these are the results. I hope you like it. Thank you for watching. Bye.